Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. William Ruto has lost the war on Matiangi. Listen to this before we continue.
Well, former Interior CS Dr. Fred Matiangi could soon be a man at peace should unnecessary theatrics and lie low, while on its part, the government is promising to disengage the overdrive gear. As a result, a church fundraising at Mogusi SDA in Borabu constituency that was to be attended by a host of MPs from the larger Kisii region with Matiangi is now in limbo after MPs who were organizing the event confirmed to NTV that they will not be attending.
The besieged former Interior CS Dr. Fred Matiangi, who spent more than 7 hours at DCI headquarters on Tuesday, might soon have something to smile about. Multiple sources have confirmed to NTV that 3 members of parliament from Kisii County held a meeting with President William Ruto at State House on Friday evening and struck a consensus on how to save Matiangi. The 3 MPs are Borabu's Patrick Osero, Nyari Barimasaba's Daniel Manduku, and Anthony Kibagendi from Kitutu Chache, all from ODM party. During the meeting, it was proposed that in order to save Matiangi from DCI news, the former CS ceases engaging in playing to the gallery and take a low profile, while the president on his part promised to see how to address the matter without appearing to be interfering with DCI operations. As a result, Borabu Member of Parliament Patrick Osero, who was to host Matiangi and other leaders at Mogusi SDA Church on Saturday, has since cancelled attending the church fundraiser, a move that automatically disorients other MPs whom he was set to host.
Yes. What does that mean? Before digging deep into that, if you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. The first meaning, William Ruto has technically lost the war on Matiangi. Ruto has realized he cannot arrest Matiangi. He cannot arrest Matiangi because he has no case against him. So arresting Matiangi will yield to nothing. That's the first reason why he cannot arrest Matiangi. He can frame him, but eventually all that will yield to nothing because he won't be ready to even prove to the judges that Matiangi committed the offenses that Ruto's government might frame against him. Secondly, Matiangi is a popular personality in Kenya, and arresting Matiangi can backfire very badly on William Ruto more so in the Gusii Nation. And that has been seen in the recent days where we have seen protests and demonstrations in the Gusii Nation when it was rumored William Ruto's government was persecuting and about to arrest Matiangi. There were some protests on the ground. So because of that, William Ruto is afraid of the backlash that can come from the people. He cannot arrest Matiangi because of that. And then Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta factor, is also making it very hard for William Ruto to arrest Matiangi. Because recently, when Matiangi actually leaked that his house was raided, Raila was there at his current residence. About 2-3 days ago, when Matiangi was at DCI offices, Raila was there. Ruto had an intention of detaining him. Upon Raila Odinga going to DCI headquarters, and upon Uhuru Kenyatta also threatening to go to DCI headquarters to release Matiangi, Matiangi was released. Those are the three main factors making it very hard for Ruto to arrest Matiangi. He cannot arrest Matiangi. He has no case against Matiangi. He fears the backlash from the ground. He fears Raila Uhuru onslaught on him in the event he arrests Matiangi. Those are the three main reasons why he cannot arrest Matiangi. All these members of parliament, the three members of parliament, ODM members of parliament, that's just a clever scheme by William Ruto to withdraw, to surrender. So he wants it to be seen that he's surrendering because Gusii leaders have asked him to surrender. The truth of the matter, all those three ODM MPs have already defected to William Ruto's team. And they pronounced in broad daylight that they were working with William Ruto's government. So already, those are not ODM members of parliament, but William Ruto's leaning members of parliament. They never listen to Raila Odinga, but they are listening to William Samoei Ruto. So it's actually William Ruto himself who might have called them and then created this impression that the MPs were begging Ruto to forgive Matiangi. The members of parliament supporting William Ruto are all sycophants and stooges. They cannot challenge William Ruto. In fact, they are just singing William Ruto's chants. So it's highly possible that it's Ruto himself who called the members of parliament to create this feeling that the Gusii leaders begged Ruto to forgive Matiangi. And also something coming out very clearly, I've always maintained here that William Ruto is not very smart politically. He is very predictable. You can just tie the dots to know William Ruto's intended mission. You are saying that these three ODM members of parliament who defected to Kenya Kwanza Alliance and have been supporting William Ruto, they are the ones who wanted to host Matiangi at a church in Gusii. What does that mean? Ruto is just exposing that these are the members of parliament he has been using to convince Matiangi to join him. So we know that these three members of parliament, these are the ones who have been acting as William Ruto's messengers. They've been acting as a link between Ruto and Matiangi. Ruto has been using these MPs to convince Matiangi to dump Azimio. But it appears all that has backfired. And if you look at it again objectively, it might be very possible that as William Ruto was using these three MPs to convince Matiangi to join Kenya Kwanza, he was also using instruments of power, government institutions, into threatening and to intimidate Matiangi. As he was doing that, these members of parliament were actually switch-talking Matiangi to join William Ruto's team. That was the trick William Ruto has been using. From where I sit, Matiangi should not allow himself to be caged by William Ruto. This is the time for Matiangi to emerge as the undisputed Gusii leader. In fact, these few days, William Ruto has persecuted him. Ruto has built Matiangi's popularity in the Gusii nation. This is the time for Matiangi to launch his political ambition in the Gusii nation. In fact, if he does that, Matiangi is going to create a wave in the Gusii nation. I'm seeing a Matiangi who is most likely going to be the political kingpin of the Gusii nation if he launches his political ambition and bid now. This is the time. William Ruto has built him. The persecutions, the summons have just built Matiangi. This is the time for Matiangi to declare his political interests. Above all, as I conclude, Ruto is very desperate. He's very desperate for legitimacy. He's trying all he can to actually mobilize, by intimidate leaders across the country to join him. So maybe he's trying that trick with Matiangi, and we also saw him trying that with Uhuru Kenyatta. So if you cannot support him, then he wants to gag you. Take a low profile. Don't talk about politics. That's William Ruto's style of playing politics. Using threats, intimidation, using government institutions to play politics, to settle political scores. That goes against what William Ruto promised Kenyans. He made it very clear that government arms, the police, won't be used to play politics. The truth of the matter, William Ruto is using DCI, Director of Public Prosecution, the police, the army, all these arms of government, judiciary, IBC. He's using all these to play politics. On this one of Matiangi, I tend to believe he has failed, so he's just surrendering. Matiangi should be firm, and this is the time for him to emerge. Let me stop it there. In case you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. If you want to support our forum, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number. Let's meet in our next analysis.